Okay, let me introduce to you Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. So these are the objectives. The first is explain the levels of Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. The second is interpret the importance of Bloom's taxonomy as a future teacher. The third is create a drawing that depicts a set of learning objectives. So what is Bloom's taxonomy? Bloom's taxonomy, it is a classification of the different outcomes and skills that educators set for their students, learning outcomes. So yung Bloom's taxonomy, ito yung isang set of objectives and skills na it is prepared, it is like predicted, it is created for the teachers' students. Okay? Yung mismong estudyante ang mag-accomplish ng mga objectives nila. And these objectives, it has levels from simple to abstract. So, dito natin ma-define kung anong klaseng level ang ma-accomplish nung estudyante. Anong klaseng level of learning o understanding yung makakamit ni student. So, si Benjamin Bloom, he is the originator of the Bloom's taxonomy. Started from a 1948 meeting of university educators chaired by Benjamin Bloom, who brainstormed a theoretical model of learning that identified educational objectives to aid in the creation of testing items. So, they have called a meeting. They have called a meeting to create a model that would aid or help or guide the teachers in their teaching processes. It would also guide the students in their learning process. Okay? So, this meeting or this idea was led by Benjamin Bloom. So, in 1956, alongside Max Engelhardt, Edward First, Walter Hill, and David Cradwell published a framework for categorizing educational goals, which is the Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, also known as Bloom's Taxonomy. So, noong 1948, doon nila nagawa yung idea, pero hindi pa nila natatapos yung thesis, yung parang framework talaga nung taxonomy. It was just thought. It was just like, nag-construct lang sila ng idea, pero hindi pa nila publish yung thesis about it. It was only published in 1956. It elaborated 6 categories. Each category contains subcategories flowing from simple to complex and concrete to abstract. So itong taxonomy na to, it started from the simplest, yung mas easiest, to the hardest. Okay? So this is the original taxonomy, which is created in 1956. So we have here evaluation, synthesis, analysis, application, comprehension, and knowledge. Let us start from the simplest or the simple part. Knowledge involves the recall of specifics, universals, methods, processes, pattern, structure, or setting. Ito yung pagka-remember. Ito yung pagka-remember ng mga words about this information. So, word by word siya. Okay? Comprehension, a type of understanding that the individual knows and can make use of the idea without relating it to others. Yung comprehension, pagkaintindi to. Kaya nga sa mga tests, binabago nila yung words, yung mga teachers, binabago nila yung words whenever they create the exams, they would change the words para ma-distinguish kung naintindihan ba ng mga estudyante ang tinuro sa kanila. Application, use of abstractions in particular and concrete situations. Ito yung pag-a-apply ng mga natutunan nila. Okay? Apply ng mga natutunan na sa mga talakayin. They could apply it to situations kung may tasks na ibinigay sa kanila, mga tasks na paggawa ng essay, or maybe ng quizzes, like yung promise ibabato sa kanila, they would apply what they have learned. Okay? Kasi mas matutunan mo yung isang bagay kung ma-apply mo ito. Analysis, breakdown of a communication into elements to make the ideas clear and explicit. Sa analysis, you would create relations. Titignan mo, di-distinguish mo, identify mo yung relationship about this particular topic. You would also find evidences to support your position on this topic. Kung merong bang debate about this topic, and you will have to choose your position that is related to this topic, you will have to find evidences. Okay? You will have to find kung may correlation ba itong relationship. Yung nahanap mong relationship sa kanilang dalawa, you have compare and contrasted, meron bang correlation tong dalawang to sa isa. Synthesis, putting together of elements and parts so as to form a whole. So synthesis, they will create something out of what they have learned. Maybe performance, maybe drawings. Okay, they will just create something out of what they have learned. Evaluation, judgments about the value of material and methods for given purposes. They would create criticisms. They would critique. They would provide their opinions, thoughts about what they have learned. So, Anderson and Krathwohl. These are the two people that helped revise the original taxonomy. A group of educational psychologists and educators to help them with the revisions. So this was like a group of educational psychologists, educators, like those professionals in the field of psychology and education. Lauren Anderson was once a student of the famed Benjamin Bloom. He was a student under Benjamin Bloom. So siya yung ating mentor. And David Krathwohl was one of Bloom's partners as he devised his classical cognitive taxonomy. So siya ay one of the people that helped create the original taxonomy, which was created in 1956. It was published in 2001, a revision of Bloom's taxonomy, its title which points to a more dynamic conception of classification entitled A Taxonomy for Teaching, Learning, and Assessment. So, maraming mga changes ang ginawa dito sa revised taxonomy. In 2001, Anderson and Krathwohl altered the levels from nouns to verbs. And this is the version of the taxonomy used today. Kasi the way that they change it from nouns to verbs, mas naging understandable, mas naging specific, kumbaga, yung pagka-revise nila. Because knowledge, parang knowledge to remember, mas naging specific siya. Hindi kagaya nung knowledge na ambiguous, diba? Okay. Mas ma-understand mo rin siya. Now, let me introduce to you the revised taxonomy, which was created in 2001. Let us start from the bottom. Create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, remember. Let's start from the bottom. So, remember, recognizing, recalling facts, pagka-alala, understanding what the facts mean, pagkakaintindi, applying the facts, rules, concepts, and ideas, pag-apply ng natutunan mo, analyze the breaking down information into component points, isa-isa, pagkakapira-piraso na information na nakuha mo, evaluate, judging the value of information or ideas, pagka-critique, magbibigay ng thoughts mo about what you have learned, and then create, combining parts to make a whole, creating something out of what you have learned. So, we already know kung ano yung differences niya from the previous taxonomy or the original taxonomy. So, can you identify kung ano ba? So, yes, Yung dalawang nasa taas. Yung evaluation synthesis, they switched places. Yung synthesis ay naging evaluate, yung evaluation naging create. Nag-switch sila ng place. So, yung synthesis pumunta sa taas, tapos yung evaluation pumunta sa baba. O kaya yung sa uh, yung new taxonomy o yung revised taxonomy, yung dati, yung create, na nasa second to the last ay inilagay sa itaas. Tapos yung evaluate na nasa second, nasa pinakataas ay inilagay sa second to the last. So that is just the comparison between taxonomies. So let me introduce you the knowledge. Anderson and Cratwell also added the knowledge dimension to the taxonomy, developed a matrix for combining cognitive processes and knowledge dimensions, consisted of 4 categories, represented as skills and abilities, with the understanding that knowledge was the necessary precondition for putting these skills and abilities into practice. So, yung knowledge, this consists yung mga kakayahan ng bata. So before you put your skills and abilities into practice, before you apply yung mga skills and abilities mo, before mo ma-train, ma-enhance yung skills and abilities mo, you have to first understand your own knowledge about it, about your skills, about your abilities. You have to know first yung information, yung knowledge about it. It's important. Okay? Para siyang prerequisite para mas ma-understand um, para mas ma-understand mo yung skills and abilities mo, para mas ma-practice, ma-enhance, ma-improve mo yung skills and abilities mo, you have to understand the knowledge or information behind it, your skills and abilities. So, let's dive into the 4 categories. The first one is factual knowledge, second conceptual knowledge, third procedural knowledge, fourth is metacognitive knowledge. So let's go to the first, factual knowledge, basic elements to learn or solve problems in the discipline. So yung factual knowledge, ito yung mga essential information that the students have to know. The conceptual knowledge, interrelationships between basic elements within a larger context. So, ito yung yung kaalaman mo about a particular discipline. So, for example, in cognitive domain, there are subcategories. That is the conceptual knowledge. It is specific. Procedural knowledge, methods in the discipline, mga strategiya mo, mga instructions that the students have to follow. Metacognitive knowledge, awareness of how learning works in relation to oneself. So, bibigyan mo ng reflection yung sarili mo. If what you are learning is like affecting your feelings, your thoughts, yung prior knowledge mo about it, like how does it affect you, and kung meron man previous experience uh, related to it, how does this learning, this topic that you have just learned, how does it affect that previous experience? Okay, those are the 4 categories. So before we move on, let us try this exercise. You just have to identify it, and it is easy. The first one is, who proposed the taxonomy of education objectives? He is the originator, which is Bloom's Benjamin Bloom. The second one was it first published? Edition 1948, because it was just thought, it was just the creation, the construction of the idea. It was in 1956. Who revised the taxonomy? These are 2 people. So, C na Anderson and Krathwohl. 4. When was it revised? It was in 1956. What was the added dimension to the taxonomy? This contains the skills and abilities. This is the knowledge dimension. So, very good. Let's move on to the domains of the taxonomy. It was expanded to this framework containing three learning domains. The first is cognitive knowledge or thinking. So, pag-iisip to mostly. Affective growth in feelings or emotional areas, more on sa pakiramdam natin. Psychomotor, manual, or physical skills. Sa mga movement natin, yung paggalaw ng estudyante. Next up, let's go and elaborate cognitive domain. Focus on intellectual skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and creating a knowledge base. So in cognitive domain, it just pertains to the thinking, more on the brain. Okay. So the cognitive domain. The first is remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So it starts from the simple to the complex, which is in create. So let's start with the simple. Remember, retrieve relevant knowledge from memory. So yung pagkakaalala lang ito na information. So word by word maybe. Understand, determine the meaning of instructional messages. Pagkakaintindi. Apply, use a procedure and a given knowledge. Pag-apply ng natutunan mo sa iisang sitwasyon. Analyze, break materials into components, and determine how they work together. So, pagkakaisa-isa, pagpipira-pirasuin mo ang natutunan mo. Pagkakaroon ng comparison, pagkakaroon ng similarities and differences. Like, gagawa ka ng Venn diagram. Okay? Samantalang yung apply, you just have to like maybe pag-a-answer ng mga problems. Pag-a-answer ng mga problems na ibinabato sa'yo. Or, not literally, parang binibigay lang sa inyo as a task or an activity. Okay? That way na mas na-apply mo. And sa analyze, you just have to know the difference and similarities. You just also know you also need to know may correlation ba sila sa isa't isa, diba? And then, magbibigay ka ng evidences. If there's like a position that you stand sa iisang topic, like for example, like debate, you have to find evidences. So, may research. Ganun, pag-a-analyze yung mga nakalap mong research that could back up your position. And then evaluate, make judgments based on criteria and standards. So, pagbibigyan ng thoughts mo, ng assessing, pagre-reflect about what you have learned. Create a new or original work. So, again, creating something, create a performance, create a drawing out of what you have learned. So, affective domain focuses on the attitudes, values, and interests. So, affective domain, it pertains to the feelings, pakiramdam ng estudyante. Okay? More on the heart. Okay, so, again, it starts from the simple one to the complex, which is in characterizing. So, let's start with receiving. Receiving, willing to listen and receive knowledge. So, receiving and willing to listen and receive knowledge, they would ask they would ask the teacher right after they have discussed the lesson. Okay? Hindi naman sa the middle of it kasi nga they are willing to listen. Ginugusto nilang mapakinggan yung sinasabi ni teacher. And since they are receiving the information, they will also ask. Kasi not only that they wanted to listen, they wanted to receive more knowledge. Diba? Maybe they could also share their experiences na makakatulong sa topic. Responding actively participates and engages in knowledge transfer. Ito na yung papasok yung recitation. Pagre-recite ng estudyante, lagi pag-roll, yung pagka-call ng mga estudyante, and for them, like, they could explain, gusto nilang mag-participate. For example, like, may pinabasa kang storya, and then you have asked kung ano nangyari sa istorya, and they would recite, they would answer your questions. That is responding, reciting. Valuing finds value and worth in one's learning with motivation to continue. Si valuing naman, si valuing naman is like, they would talk about something that they feel strongly about. Parang, so, for example, like, may social issue, they would talk more about it. They would elaborate more about it, and they feel so much about it. Like, strong yung emotions nila, strong yung thoughts nila. Since strong yung emotions nila about this particular, like, issue, maraming thoughts ang nagfo-flow sa kanila. So that is valuing. Organizing integrates and compares values, resolves conflict between these values, and orders them according to priorities. So for example, gusto maging honor student tong estudyante. Pinaprioritize niyang mag-aral, mag-review, than joining his friends. I mean, maybe he will do that later. Pero mas napaprioritize niya yung pag-aaral because he or she wanted to be a honor student. Or maybe kahit hindi naman maging honor student, gusto niya lang makip up yung grades niya, he or she would still know his priorities. Yung pag-review than doing things na gusto niya. Maybe after doing his priorities, gawin niya na yun kung anong gusto niya as a reward. So, the last one is characterizing. Creates a value system that controls behavior. It is pervasive, consistent, predictable, and characteristic of the learning. So, si characterizing, ito yung parang, for example, yung nasa test kayo. Nag-test kayo. And then, napakahirap ng test. Sobrang hirap. It is difficult. It's challenging. And then, may binigay sa yung like kodigo nung katabi mo. Now, alam mo napakahirap ng test, but you still kind of insist na ikunin yun. Kasi it is unethical. You know that it's wrong. So, you finish the test independently. Okay? So that is characterizing. Psychomotor domain focuses on the ability to physically accomplish tasks and to perform nonverbal communication and expressive activities. So psychomotor domain just talks about the movement, the hand and eye coordination, and motor skills of the student. Or sa galaw katawan. Okay. So psychomotor domain starts from the simple to the complex, which is origination. So let us start from the beginning, which is perception. Use sensory cues to guide actions or movements. So ito yung pagte-take notes ng bata. Take notes now when the teacher is discussing. Set demonstrates our readiness to take action to perform the task or objective. So, siset naman is like pagbabasa, pagkakaintindi ko ano yung natutunan niya sa kanyang teacher. Okay? So, mas try niyang basahin ulit, itry niyang ulitin, maybe try niyang i-copy or imitate yung ginawa o na-demonstrate ng teacher. Okay? So, guided response. No steps required to complete the task and learns through trial and error by practicing. So, sa guided response, mas nagpa-practice siya. Binibigyan niya ng maraming araw. Okay? Bibigyan niya ng maraming araw para ma-accomplish or ma-perform na tong gawain na to. Yung teacher magbibigay siya ng parang araw na makakapag-practice itong estudyante na ito. So that is guided response. Mechanism performs tasks in a somewhat confident and proficient in a habitual manner. So for example, like yung estudyante yun is preparing for like a performance, and yung performance niya is piano. Um, since nakapag-practice siya, and she will execute it confidently kasi nakapag-practice siya. Okay? Proficient. Maganda yung kinalabasan ng pagka-practice niya. Okay? Complex overt response. Expert level, high proficiency, and performs with accuracy. So, yung complex overt response naman, it talks about yung parang advanced level na siya. Yes, nakapag-practice siya, pero he or she is taking it to the next level. So, kapag nag-piano ka, or pag itong estudyante na to that is preparing for like a performance, tapos yung kinalabasan ng performance niya ay hindi niya tinitignan yung keys, piano keys niya. That is some level. That is a high level na. Advanced na yun. Okay? Unbelievable. Ganun. So, the next one is adaptation. Develop their skills and can change them to meet specific requirements. So, adaptation, alam na, for example, like, marunong kang magluto. Kapag marunong kang magluto, and then, you wanted to create something alternative to what you are going to cook, pwede mo ma-adjust. Alam mo yung previous na, na ingredients for this particular dish, pero maybe bibigyan siya ng twist. You can adjust it. Okay? You can adjust it. You can change it a bit. And that is how much you are um have reached this mastery level. Like, alam mo na talaga yung previous ingredients, alam mo na kung paano lutuin. You just have to take a little twist on it. Baka nagkaiba yung ingredients, yung main ingredient na baka naging chicken. So, mataas na yung level mo na, parang mastery level na. Yes. So, origination, learn how to develop a new skill using principles learned while gaining the original skill. So, sa origination naman, kapag ay marunong ka na mag-ballet, marunong ka um, mag-hip-hop, and then you are given a task on choreographing or parang gagawa ka ng choreo for the school, that is called origination. Meron ka ng like previous knowledge, and then nagagamit mo tong like previous knowledge to uh, to newer situations. Okay? So that is called origination, and that is all for the psychomotor domain. So ano nga ba yung steps to craft the learning objectives? The first is select the domain, cognitive, affective, or psychomotor for the learning objective you want to design. So cognitive domain, for example. The second is determine at what complexity level you want students to demonstrate their learning. So you have to like you have to like go and distinguish kung anong complexity level ang gusto mong ma-accomplish ng bata. Kasi there are subcategories. 'Di ba nga may sinabi like pwedeng pag-define, recall lang, parang word by word lang yung matututo ng bata. Or maybe there are other stuff na other words na under ng cognitive domain. For example, explain. Pag pag nilagay mo yan sa objective mo, you meant to say na kailangan ng mga estudyante ay may-elaborate nila yung natutunan nila, hindi word by word. Okay? They have to explain, they have to um, give meaning to they have to give their own meaning about the particular topic that they have discussed in their own words. So the third is select an action verb that is aligned to the domain level that you want students to demonstrate. So, again, yung sinabi ko na, define, describe, arrange, and etc. And magkakaiba yung mga gustong ikamit or na learning outcome of each of these words. Magkakaiba sila. Kakaiba rin ng complexity level. So, again, sabi ko, define is just recalling. So, pag-describe, mas ma-explain nila, mas elaborate nila kung ano yung natutunan nila. Okay? Tapos yung iba pa. Define what is Bloom's taxonomy ang kinalabasan ng ating learning objective here. Okay? So, that is all for these steps. So, these are like more examples, more terminologies to use for your for the creation of your educational objectives. You remember, understand, apply, analyze, and evaluate, and create. And each of these has their own meaning. At iba silang complexity level. Okay, so we are about to end. So, before we end our discussion, kailangan nating alamin muna yung summary niya. So, could you try summarizing it? Okay, so Bloom's taxonomy, categorization of learning outcomes. The background, like the short background of it, is the framework originated from Benjamin Bloom. The framework was revised by Lauren Anderson and David Krutwell. Then in categories, there are 6 levels of educational goals. The first one is remember, second is understand, third is apply, fourth is analyze, fifth is evaluate, sixth is create, and then let's move on to the domains. There are 3 learning outcomes. The first is cognitive, the second is affective, the third is psychomotor. So that is all for Bloom's taxonomy. References, you can just go to it if you want a more elaborated, like more information about the topic that we just discussed. So that is all. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in this discussion. Goodbye.